Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Shay Tanise, and today is my first video here on YouTube, and I'm so excited, so nervous at the same time. Please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you join my YouTube family. And this first video that I decided to upload is going to be a foundation review because foundation is like my favorite makeup product of all time. So you're going to see a lot of foundation reviews, concealer reviews, and things like that here on my channel. So if you love that stuff too, definitely subscribe so you don't miss any of my future uploads. So today's video, for my first video here on YouTube, I'm going to be doing a review. This is going to be a first impressions video. I'm going to see how things go. Not sure if I'm really into the first impression thing because I know that sometimes my feelings and thoughts about a foundation can change after wearing it a few times. I have to play around with application techniques and different primers to get the best wear out of the product. So today's review is going to be on the NARS Longwear Natural Radiant Foundation. I am a fan of NARS foundations. I've been wearing their foundations for years, but over the I would say course of a few years, I kind of started trying other things that suited my skin type more. And the NARS foundations were a great, beautiful foundation. Some of the top foundations I've ever tried. But the sheer glow used to make me really oily, but it was a beautiful finish on the foundation. And the natural, what was the other one? The All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation is still one of my favorites. I've gone through 2 full bottles of that foundation and I love it. I picked up this foundation from Sephora, and this one just launched in December, so it's a fairly new foundation. I have mine in the shade Tahoe. This is medium dark 2. I wore Tahoe in all of their foundations, so I figured I would just stick with the one that I knew matched me. Hopefully this one will match me. So this foundation is supposed to be a long wearing but radiant foundation that's supposed to last up to 16 hours. It's supposed to be medium buildable to full coverage, which is usually right up my alley. So I'm super excited about this. It does say to shake well, so we're going to do that. Shake, 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 shake. Now, for my foundation reviews, I will let you guys know right now, I do have, just to talk about my skin type a little bit, I do have more combination skin. My T-zone can get pretty oily throughout the day, but the rest of my face, like the perimeter of my face, is usually pretty normal. I don't really get any dry patches or anything. If anything, I lean more towards oily. So for the primer, I didn't want to go in with like some primer that I know was going to make any foundation look beautiful. I just wanted to use a basic pore filling primer, something that's just going to smooth out the texture around my nose area and on my cheeks around this area here. So I'm going to go in with the Touch and Soul No Pore Blum Primer. This is a really nice primer, very inexpensive, and you can get it from Sephora. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this primer and go ahead and fill in these pores. I like to rub in between my fingers to warm the product up, and then I like to tap the product to press it into my pores. I do focus this product right on the center of my face, and then I blend outward. So I don't have anything on my skin except for my skincare. I don't have any concealers or color correctors or anything on at the moment. So we're going to just press this in and then smooth it outward like so. I freaking love this primer. It is so good if you have more texture on your skin. It does really fill in your problem areas. Now, I just like to press, and I know it looks like I'm doing too much, but really want to, if you have larger pores, that is like the key to smooth makeup application. And we want those pores to be as minimized as possible. So I'm just going to take a little bit more and just press, press, press right around here. And for moisturizer, just so you know what I'm wearing underneath the primer, I did use the Versali Unicorn Essence as a facial serum after I washed and toned my skin, and then I went in with the Rose Gold Elixir from Versali. So I love these two, and they make my makeup application so effortless. I wear them every single day. I love those products. And for those of you wondering, like, oh, I know they have been like so popular on YouTube and on Instagram, but yes, they work. They are some of the best skincare I've ever used. And just to tell you a little bit about the foundation while the primer is setting on the skin, I like to let the primer sit for usually about, I would say, 2 to 3 minutes, just so that it infuses and really sets into those pores. So on the packaging, it says meet NARS's first longwear foundation that looks stronger, stays longer, with skin recognition pigments for the truest color match and 16 hours of wear. Featuring NARS's skin optimizing complex, which is raspberry, apple, and watermelon extracts for smoother, healthier looking skin. And the instructions say to shake well and apply a small amount starting in the center of the face and blend outwards. So just gonna shake it up so that it is nice and mixed. These just launched in my Sephora, so these were brand new. They just put them on the display like 3 days before, 2 or 3 days before I picked it up. So for my foundation reviews, another thing I wanted to mention is that I'm not going to be using any new products or anything with the foundation. When I'm doing a review on foundation, I like to just use the foundation and keep everything else consistent, because when you switch up products and application techniques and things like that, it tends to, I don't know, you don't really know if it's the foundation or the new product that you use. So this is just going to be a first impression on the actual foundation. So I'm just going to pump a little bit on the back of my hand just to show you guys what the consistency looks like. Okay, so it's not really runny at all. It's actually just sitting there. Don't mind that little mark there. That's from a swatch from some NYX liquid lipsticks I was looking at earlier. So it's not really running at all. It's actually just staying right there in place. So I'm just going to take about that much of the foundation, and I'm going to go in with, this is just the Morphe sponge, and I'm going to start applying the foundation on my cheeks over here. I think the reason why a lot of foundations tell you to start in the center of your face and blend outward is so that most of the product is not caked in your pores on your nose. So I think that's why those instructions are given. Okay, so that blended out super fast. I will say a little bit goes a long way. I'm just going to do one side of my face just to show you guys what the application, what the difference looks like from one side with the foundation and then one side without the foundation. Oddly enough, it didn't say that this foundation was suited for dry skin, which I found pretty odd for NARS, but it just said, I think, for oily, normal, and combination skin types. And I'm just going to tap really lightly around the nose area to press the foundation in. Also, for me, I like to apply my foundations with a sponge. It just gives me the most natural finish. So this was about 1 full pump of the foundation, maybe 1.5. And I'm just going to show you the coverage that I'm getting with 1.5 pumps of the foundation. Okay, so just want to make sure everything is blended. So I pretty much used about a pump, maybe a pump and a half of the foundation, and this is what it's looking like on this side. So right off the bat, it does look really natural on the skin. It's not a very flat matte foundation, but it's not super dewy or luminous at all. One thing I have learned over the few years of using NARS's foundations is that their foundations look better as the day goes on. Every hour, I felt like the foundation just looks better and better and better with the All Day Weightless Luminous foundation. So I'm thinking that might be the case with this one, because honestly, it looks really matte. Like, I don't know. It looks really matte. It looks good though. So this is the side with the foundation, and you can see that the color match is perfect. And then this is the side without the foundation. So it definitely evened out my skin tone and covered up the dark spots that I had from old acne scars. I'm just going to take this little clip to clip this back so that it's not in the way. Okay, so let's go on to the other side of the foundation. I mean, the other side of the face. It does blend really easily. But it's just very, I think it's a lot more matte than what I expected, but I have a feeling that through the day it's going to get more luminous. So I probably won't be setting my entire face. I'll probably just set the areas that I put concealer. I'll probably set those areas with powder. Right now, my holy grail foundation is the Dior Forever. So if this can stand up to the Dior Forever, then I would say NARS is definitely working with a winner. Color match is just perfect. For color reference, for those of you wondering, I am NC 45 or NC 44 sometime in the wintertime, depending on which foundation I'm using from MAC. I don't really use a lot of MAC foundations anymore, just because I feel like I've tried so many other foundations over the years. I kind of feel like everybody used to start out with MAC, but okay. So this is what the foundation is looking like. Very, very natural looking on the skin. I almost feel like I don't have on anything. It's very lightweight. And I don't feel it on my skin at all, which is great. So this is what it looks like. Very, very natural, lightweight. Color match is perfect. So I want to go in, just for those of you who love that super full coverage look, I want to go in and build it up a little bit to see if it gets cakey or changes in texture. Right now, it's not emphasizing any of my texture around my nose or anything like that. But I probably will not add any more product to this part of my face. This is a part of my face that cakes up really easily and really quickly because of the pores. So I'm not going to touch my nose again. I'm just going to go in and put out. And as you can see, that's one pump and then two pumps right there side by side. Very, very little product comes out. And usually when foundations do that, they basically are trying to say you don't need a lot of product. So we're going to go back in on this side and see if the foundation builds nicely. When I build up a foundation, what I'm looking for is cake-free foundation application. If a foundation starts to cake up, that usually means it's not really a buildable product. It's just meant to be applied with one layer. So far, it's building really nicely. I had really nice medium coverage the first application. It was almost at full coverage. I feel like if you don't really have blemishes, you know, one application or one layer will definitely give you that full coverage look. But I have a strong feeling, you guys, that this is going to be that foundation that throughout the day it gets more luminous and just looks absolutely stunning. Again, it's still very, very lightweight. I don't feel it on my skin. I don't feel like I'm wearing a lot of makeup, and this is with 2 layers of product. Okay, NARS, okay. So right now, no areas look patchy or anything. I'm going to come up close. The lens that I have on my camera right now is not a zoom lens, so I cannot zoom in to see my skin close up. But what I will do is just come up closer to the camera so you guys can see the application. Now, I didn't put any foundation underneath my eyes because I find that I'm going to go in with concealer anyway, so it's pointless to add all of that extra product for no reason. Okay, so I'm going to come up closer so you guys can see what the foundation looks like. And I do have a ring light. I don't have any filters or anything on, but this is what it's looking like so far. So very, very nice coverage. It looks extremely natural on the skin. Like when I look at my face in my makeup mirror here, I don't see the foundation, and that is what I always look for. It's not caking up around my nose or anything. It actually looks really nice. So far, I really like it. Okay, NARS, okay. Okay, okay. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to just go away for a second and apply the rest of my makeup so that I can see how everything builds on top of the foundation. One of the things I look for in a foundation is that when I apply concealer and powder and bronzer, everything smooths over the foundation really nicely and doesn't cling to any areas or cake up. So that's what you look for in a foundation to be able to tell if it's a pretty good foundation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup. I'm doing nothing today, so I won't come back with a full beat. I'm just going to use some concealer underneath my eyes, some powder, put on some brows and some mascara, and I will be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. It is now 8:15 at night, so I've had the foundation on for quite a few hours, and I'm really loving the way it's held up so far. I did not powder. I didn't go in and do anything extra, and it's still looking really good. Hopefully the camera is picking up the natural radiance that the foundation has. This right here, of course, is highlighter, but just the way the whole the foundation is sitting on the entire face looks really nice. I love it. So far, it's been a go for me. So if you're on the market for a new foundation that's going to give you a nice natural radiant finish, I do feel like the foundation definitely does hold up to the claims of being natural looking, radiant, and long wearing. So those three things that NARS is claiming this foundation does, I would have to say I agree with. It has not separated or broken up at all. My nose area is a little bit on the dewier, more luminous side, and of course with all of the lights, it's going to make it a little bit more emphasized. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit more of the Kat Von D powder, and let's just go in and touch up to see if it holds up. Now, the way I tell a foundation if it's holding up well or not, if my natural oils mix in with the foundation and it starts to break up, the actual foundation starts to separate or break up, then I know that it's not long wearing. But if I get oily and I either blot or add a little bit of translucent powder and it stays in place and it looks like I just put it on it looks the same as it did when I first applied it after putting a little bit of translucent powder, then that's a good test for me to see if it's going to hold up. So I'm just going to take a very light dusting of powder just because I don't have my blotting sheets in my beauty room right now. So I'm just going to take what is in the cap right here, and I'm just going to take the Kat Von D shade and light brush, and I'm just going to very lightly put a little bit of powder in the T-zone area. Now, this honestly seems to me to be a lot more radiant than what it initially looked like on first application. So just keep that in mind. When you first apply the foundation, it looks matte. Like, I was really surprised, but I know that NARS's foundations usually look better on me as the day goes on. Powder everywhere. So just by touching up those areas, I feel like it looks like it did when I first applied it. So that's just a test I like to do to see. I wanted to do it live on camera so you guys could see how it looks after just setting a little bit of powder over those shiny areas. Other than that, the bronzer, like I said, I had a bagel, had a cup of coffee, and The only thing I did was touch up my lipstick for the final check-in. This side still looks good. The contour is still there. The bronzer, the highlight, everything is still there. Covered up my imperfections very, very nicely. I do think it is a medium to buildable full coverage foundation for sure. I don't see any of my imperfections coming through on my face at all. I have been watching TV and just kind of doing laundry and just some house chores. So I haven't been out in the elements to really test it outside. It's like 28 degrees or so today in Virginia, so haven't been out today, so I don't know how it would, you know, hold up in the elements, but so far I really like it. 2 thumbs up to NARS for making another great foundation. I'm going to update you guys on my Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram. I will put the link to my channel below. Also on Snapchat, I'll link that down below as well. I'll do some some updates, I should say, on those two social media sites to let you guys know after applying it, you know, using it for a couple days if anything changed with my thoughts and opinions. But as of right now, I think it looks great. I am impressed. My skin looks super flawless, super smooth. My pores look very diffused. Nothing looks emphasized. Everything applied beautifully over top. So thank you guys for tuning into my channel to see this review. If you want to see more reviews from me, definitely put a note in the comment to let me know what products you want to see me review. And also don't forget to subscribe before you leave. I would love to have you hang out with me in some future videos. So don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you get notified for any of my future uploads. And it's been wonderful with my first video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, stay tuned. Bye guys.